Wait.
And we're
We're
back.
back.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for joining us again on the
Okay.
Coruscant Knights podcast. We're happy to have you here. My
So
name is
happy.
Cooper, and alongside me, as always, is Mark
Hello there.
and Jack.
Hello, everyone.
And we are back together in the makeshift
In the
studio
studio.
for the first time in a very long time.
Bit over a month, I think.
Yeah. This is also the first time we've come to record straight after watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the first time we've watched a rewatch together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
good.
yeah,
So-
of the series, yeah.
We're really excited
It's
today
awesome.
to be talking about Return of the Jedi.
What
The
a great movie.
end of the original trilogy.
The end of the canon of Star Wars, excluding Mandalorian.
We're already starting there?
The end, I should say, canon of the Skywalker saga.
Oh,
Mark.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Mando still counts as canon.
I'm not saying anything. Let's get into this. I'm ready.
Okay, well, before we do, thank you for joining us again.
Thank
If you
you.
don't already follow us on Instagram, go ahead and do so. We post updates, behind the scenes, etc. And you'll also find the link to our Patreon there if you want to go support us.
Mhm.
That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks to our patrons who are currently supporting us. Before we begin, just want to update you guys because I said this at the end of last week's podcast that I would find out the official score of the who has more screen time. I couldn't remember. Jack
It's
is winning.
Thrashing.
Jack is winning 5-3.
Oh.
Now you did tie for the Phantom Menace, so I've
Yeah,
both
first one.
given you a point.
First one was a tie.
It was a tie, yeah. So
Oh, it was the first
Phantom.
one.
you got Attack of the Clones, Solo, Rogue One, and The Empire Strikes Back.
I didn't get revenge.
You got,
Oh, yeah.
you got
That's right.
Revenge and A New Hope and Phantom Menace.
I didn't get
Yes.
my favorite movie. Oh no.
No, that's not great. But
I did.
Yeah, you did. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Last Jedi, we should make it for Cooper.
No, we should just bleep
Well,
on
I've seen them all, so I know.
Yeah. Oh no.
The other thing I wanted to say
We'll bleep
quickly,
on it.
this movie was not originally called Revenge of the
Return of
Return
the
of the Jedi.
Jedi.
It was called Revenge of the Jedi.
Hmm.
The title was changed 5 months out from release.
They had promotional
They
posters.
did. There was a
and-
trailer
and
that
stuff.
promoted Revenge of the Jedi.
I think it was a good choice to
That
change it.
sounds
Well,
so weird.
So I don't think so because just the way and the way kind of Luke behaves in this movie, at least towards the start, kind of feels like, come on, he looks
I think
sinister and
that's
evil.
why.
That's a
I think that's
stretch.
why it's Return of the Jedi because
He
returns
maybe
and-
was already a bit on the eviler side at the start,
Yeah,
but then
okay.
returns.
and then which we see.
This was the other way
which I will
around,
mention
maybe.
later with his clothing. Which
Mm.
Oh
we
yeah, yeah,
mentioned.
we'll get
Ooh.
into the symbolism there. Okay, so we ready to begin?
Mark, kick us
Yeah.
off.
All right. Well, I have just got a few like short notes, sort of things that I liked. Didn't really write what I didn't like.
That's right.
Cool that the gang have all infiltrated Jabba's palace
The gang.
unnoticed.
Oh, I got some issues with that already.
No, I just
Yeah.
find it funny how they just sneak in and no one notices.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the
I think
plan-
that is so plot like armor-esque
Yeah,
vibe.
that's just a fun.
There's no way they would all get in through
Yeah,
Jabba.
no, good plan, maybe.
I'm gonna come back to that later.
Alright, sure thing. I like the what would you call it, like parallels, I guess, when Luke says, "You must not underestimate my powers,"
Yeah, like Anakin.
relating it to Anakin's, because Anakin's quote is, "You," I think it was, "You underestimate my power."
Yeah.
So there's a little difference, but you know.
By the way, I'd like to mention, viewers, we actually have written all these notes when watching it, but haven't discussed them. So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I've got
technically, we all don't really know. We know what. Well, obviously, we know what we generally like and don't like about the movie, but we don't overly know what we
specifically.
wrote down and what we didn't and did like. Yeah.
All right, I'll continue.
Mhm.
The Rancor fight shows Luke's progression as a fighter, in my opinion.
Really?
Yes.
No, I'm the opposite.
Because-
No.
How
I'm
do you
on the
know?
fence. I'm on the
Because
fence.
I'll
he-
explain it later.
We'll get into it later, but the way he handles himself against it without a weapon, without the Force,
Yeah, but he has
and he
the
brings
Force.
it down.
Yeah, but why
Yeah,
does he use the?
He
Oh,
doesn't need to
no.
use it. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but he was struggling. He almost about to get.
Nah, he
beaten.
wasn't struggling.
I'll
Back- yeah,
remain
yeah.
anonymous.
Voice
Back-
of reason.
Oh,
Just
back.
look at him. All right, I'll continue again. Why does no one try to stop Leia from choking Jabba on the sail barge?
Because they're all worried about getting blown
But
up, and
they
Luke's on
should
top.
see.
Luke's on top. Oh no, no,
It was
they're,
dark in there as well.
yeah.
Oh, it's not that dark. There's
And,
people.
and
in
let's
there.
be honest, Jabba probably doesn't treat his colleagues that well.
I reckon, honestly, someone, at least one person, should have stepped in.
Nitpick.
I mean, if you want to call it that, but
Yeah.
I think you
Nah,
can
it's-
relate it to the story.
yeah.
I really love the scene where the Emperor arrives on the Death
Yep,
Star, the
classic.
music and all the troops laying out, which I
The
think
artwork.
the painting, it was the
Mhm.
painting, which is very, very cool.
Mm,
Not something you probably see in cinema these
not
days.
anymore. No, that would just resort to CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Endor is cool, and I like the sound effects in the background.
The
Yeah.
birds.
I don't know if they're birds, but it's just, adds some atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
Animals
well
or
done, guys.
Yeah.
even maybe Ewoks in the background, maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
And the music in the village is sick as.
Yeah, 100%. The Ewok
Yeah,
music?
Yeah.
Ewok.
No, like
Hmm?
the village music.
Yeah, when they get to the village.
Right,
Yeah, I forgot
yeah.
what it
Yeah.
goes, but
Yeah.
already. But...
Also, I should mention with the Ewoks, I know it's a bit controversial that the Ewoks are a bit controversial, but I've never really had a problem with them, which I think Jack disagrees with a bit.
Oh, well, yeah. We can get into it now if you want to. Is that all your positives or
No?
All right, keep going.
I'll
keep going.
finish. There's only like
Yeah.
3 left.
Yeah.
I like also the scene with when Luke explains to Leia that they're related and they're Darth
Yeah, that's
Vader's
done really well.
children.
That whole scene was perfect.
That was awesome. The lighting, the music, the
fog.
dialogue. Yeah, the mist. The mist was really cool. The
God.
the Ewok stealing the speeder bike. That was so funny.
Yeah.
And
And
his legs in the air.
so much power.
Speaking of speeder bikes, I actually enjoyed that scene, but
I did too, but
I think that it was well made, but I know there's some controversial opinions about that scene on this table.
it's hard to talk about the filmmaking and the CGI on a movie so old.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we go back,
I think I cut it a lot of slack for that.
You did. You were
Yeah.
when we were watching it, you were the most lenient when it
Yeah.
comes to the
I
when
was
me and Cooper were like pausing, going,
made
"What is that?"
Made in the 80s, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. You can't really compare it to the sequels, which both of you did
Darth
quite a
Vader's
few
helmet
times.
clipping through the ship.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you ignore things like that, like, I don't know, you're like, oh, this is something the Rise of Skywalker did better. Of course they did. They had more time and more money
True.
and more advanced technology.
That is true. Yep. I'll give you that one.
I know I've mentioned the music so many times already, but the music in the dogfight and the Death Star, I think just in general the music of
in the trench.
I think the music of the film in itself is just amazing. And finally, the battle of Luke and Vader. That is just an absolutely amazing scene and fight.
Yeah.
And I think pretty much everything about that is just great.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
a great
end of
list.
my list.
That's a really
very
good
positive.
list.
All just parts I liked.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
Some controversial takes in my opinion.
There was some debatable ones in there. I'll debate some later, but
Yeah.
do you want to go?
Yeah. So mine are a lot more once again specific, like scene specific and character specific. So, I want to start off by saying the characters in this movie. So obviously that's general, but Luke, I think they portrayed Luke very well in terms of having him be a bit more confident.
He's a bit wiser.
Wiser.
Yeah.
However, then you can contend saying that it's been only 3 and 4 years. He's still a Jedi Knight. He hasn't really we haven't seen any training since the Darth fight, so we don't really know what he's capable of. Really, you know what I mean? Like you've seen that he used a Force choke ability. This is actually something I want to mention during it. How did he learn that? Yoda wouldn't have taught him that.
No.
How did he learn that?
Did he have the Jedi text by then?
No. He hasn't. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like they just want to add more Force abilities for the sake of adding Force abilities.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. But
when
like
you say they wanted to add it for the sake of it, you just reminded me of the Force running in the Phantom Menace.
the one time
it's only appeared once.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, to be fair, that's good that they didn't continue with that because that would have changed every single scene ever, like especially Qui-Gon's death. So,
I can just imagine Qui-Gon zooming around
through the gates.
The fight is just like the flash, just. But I thought Leia. I'm not sure what you thought about this one. You kind of gave off a bit of like a when Leia came as. I forgot the bounty hunter's name, but as dressed up as the bounty hunter. I honestly want to know how she got that armor off him or whoever it was. There's an actual bounty hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you didn't know, but it's but I actually really liked how she in this movie, aside from the weird locked up chain aspect, she was very strong and did her own kind of thing, and she could fend for herself without having to rely on others.
I think she was more independent in this
especially
movie
compared to New Hope when she was the princess needing to be rescued.
And even in Empire, she's always around the others. So
yeah,
she's not really contributing in her own way.
This
But I
one
mean,
relied heavily on her to succeed.
yeah, and I mean,
Because, yeah, she could have blown it.
I
big
think
time.
this was probably the first time we've seen Leia get screen time by herself.
Yeah, without the main characters being in the frame
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
especially with the Ewok, even though we maybe a bit unnecessary, but at least it's good to have a bit of monologue from her, basically. So it's good. Contrary on what I said last week, I think Lando was amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
he
Even
was.
though,
I agree.
I actually kind of thought he was in it a lot more than I thought. He wasn't in it that much.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I
agree.
mean-
Oh yeah, we've got the things.
I
but-
agree. I reckon he wasn't in as much
Well,
as as I remembered. Yeah,
Like
but he was what he was there for was I think really good.
Yeah, I especially thought the chemistry between Han and Lando in this one actually
Oh
gave
yeah, it
a
was
friendship.
much better.
Yeah.
The last one felt kind of a bit.
Well, to be
oh,
fair,
let's
they
add
hadn't
it in.
seen each other in ages, so it's like
Yeah,
there's going to be some tension there, and from what we understand, the last they saw of each other, they were,
Stop shit.
Lando just got
Lando
lost his ship,
betrayed
so
him
He got
and betrayed
betrayed.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you're right with that. But I really think the characters in this movie were excelled once again. That's why I think the original trilogy does better than the other ones. They extend on the characters. They don't go backwards on them. Okay, so my pros are kind of in order of when stuff happened, so it's going to be a bit random. But I've just written down sound of the Death Star. When they're coming in, it was when Darth Vader was boarding the thing, boarding the Death Star, and it's like, just the random
Like the
beeps and
alert
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, the alert and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt's castle. I did discuss this with you guys briefly. Palace, yeah, whatever it is.
Right.
Oh,
Castle sounds
Palace.
so wrong.
Even though I've got two of them in Lego form already, but that's fine. It looked a lot bigger than it did in Boba Fett in the show, didn't it? The gates. It just looked a lot more.
I mean, I don't really remember how it looked in Boba Fett, but
Boba Fett just
think
didn't feel lived in.
kind of-
Didn't feel fleshed out. This felt like it's a place where people like to come together. And then Boba Fett's one was like, even when Bib was running at the start or like at the end of Mando, it just kind of looked dead. Like, what's going on in here? There's nothing happening. So I don't know. I just kind of like the vibe of it. This is a pro. The Gonk torture scene.
Oh, the way you said that sounded horrible.
I actually think that was a bit of a interesting decision to have droid torture in a Star Wars movie.
As well, actually.
So that's
Interesting decision.
that's why I wrote it down. More in like a lot of stuff in this movie kind of felt like a fever dream.
Yeah,
like,
that's real.
Like so much
I
stuff.
didn't get that.
So much stuff just happened for the sake of something happening. It didn't.
Literally.
It felt. We'll get into my overall opinions of it later, but it just felt a bit. This movie is hard to judge. It's not perfect. It's not bad. I think it's not average. I just don't know where to put it.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I completely agree with that.
But I'll continue. Boba imposing without saying anything. We've mentioned this so many times in my book of Boba Fett, disappointing book. I've said it again. The less he speaks, the better he is.
That is true.
It's without a doubt a fact. Like Mando does it perfectly, but he took his trait. So that's just
the way. Like in this movie, there's like a scene or two where he's like nods his head.
just an
which
approval.
gives me like Mando vibes, which obviously this was first.
Yeah,
but I agree. Like all you need is like a visual communication.
He's already imposed. He's like Darth Vader. Like Darth Vader is imposing with visuals, but he's also the lines written for him are as good. But with Boba Fett, I feel like he's more scary just looking at you don't know what he is, kind of thing.
Yeah,
He could be an alien over there. We don't know before. He could have been an alien, you know. You don't know what he is. Could be in Trandoshan or anything. You know what I mean? But I actually thought the scenes with Jabba in this was not all of them were pretty good, but I thought the one where Luke came in with and he was Jedi mind trick Bib, and then Jabba was like, "Oh, you fool! He's using." It actually shows that Jabba's a lot stronger than we thought. Not physically, obviously, because he can't. But mentally, he's actually smart with how he's operated.
He has been through a lot,
it might be like Watto. I don't know because I know in the Clone Wars,
I think Watto's just what's it called?
Immune.
Yeah, just luck. I think based off his race.
Yeah, okay.
I think Jabba is actually aware of the Jedi. He's aware of.
He's dealt with them quite a few times.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not scared of them, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like even the Rancor when he put it down, he was not really feared from Luke that much. He was still trying to counter offer even Leia, and he's just a good imposing figure.
Yeah.
The Rancor music, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna impression this. It's bad. Salacious Crumb's also W. I love Salacious Crumb. Hey, what a name. The little rat dude pet that he has.
The one
that's what the name is.
Salacious Crumb.
Laughs the whole time.
He's my favorite character.
Oh God.
My other few positives that hasn't been mentioned by Mark. Lando's scream.
Yeah.
In the Sarlacc where he's
it's amazing.
gets grabbed by the tentacle.
Yeah, that was a great one.
The Emperor's entrance you mentioned,
Yeah,
just
that was
the,
awesome.
the music, even how Darth still kneels before him.
Yeah,
I find it interesting how the Royal Guards don't. Out of everyone there, the Royal
maybe
Guards.
it's just a standing at attention. I'm not really sure.
I'm not sure. Well, they have to be alert just in case for a threat. Don't know. This is my last one that I actually written down as a pro because I was more invested towards the second half of the movie in terms of being encapsulated into the serious aspects of it. But Yoda's hut feels warm and cozy. That's what I wrote
I
down.
love Yoda's hat. I love the way he goes to bed.
Yeah. However, how sad was
It's
that? I didn't
more
actually
funny.
notice it when the lights go out when he's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
How sad is that?
That was very
that's sad. Yeah,
Like the lights of the house. It's
Yeah.
just it's an emotional scene, and I think what the Return of the Jedi does really good is focusing when it's really strong when it focuses on the emotional elements better.
that's true.
When I think the other ones didn't have as much of emotional tension aside from the Darth and Luke story. But this one, even Han and Luke, I mean not Han and Luke, Han and Leia's romance and stuff. Even Leia with finding out about her parents and the twin. The acting was really good in this.
It was good.
Especially Han's facial expressions. How often did Han just crack us up just off his face? It's so funny.
The part where they get captured by the Ewoks and he's just like laughing pretty much at them.
Yeah, it's just like what is his little take?
Luke is as well, actually.
Yeah, I just think overall this movie, rewatching it, the more I rewatch it, the more I get unsure about if it's really good or it's average kind of thing. I don't know. Like the end, like the whole end scene with upon the Death Star with the fight is perfect, like perfect, and that's why why it's hard to critique this movie because that is so strong. But then when I was watching it with you guys today, the first half an hour, we checked the time. It was like half an hour, 40 minutes of just not much, like barely much happened. They go to like 3 different planets only, and it's long. It is long. Like they go to Endor early, and they don't leave it till like the very end.
Weren't they still on Tatooine at the 40-minute mark?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
See, I disagree.
I didn't like the start.
I didn't think there was that much of an issue with it.
Interesting.
In my opinion, I think this movie split into 3 very distinct.
Oh yeah,
phases.
There's no like transitional like blends. It's just
there's the Tatooine, and then it moves to Dagobah, and then Endor.
And the Dagobah part is very small as well. Very short. The Dagobah section.
Yeah,
but then I don't know.
Because you've also got the Rebel fleet there and sort of thing.
Yeah.
Also, every time we see them in the original trilogy, I just realized aside from Hoth, they're always moving in space. They're never really like just located.
Settle.
Oh, Yavin 4 in the first one. I guess ever since Hoth was destroyed, they haven't found really a base of operations. You can
until they find Chandrila, obviously.
Yeah, but I think we'll go on to your positives, Cooper.
Before we do that,
I
just noticed this is something that you brought along today.
Yeah,
you want to tell us a little bit?
Bring it up close to the camera. Give it a nice. It is the special edition VHS of the original trilogy. That is the Return of the Jedi. Flick the back, show them the back. It's so clean, isn't it?
It's very nice.
This is what the original trilogy has that the others don't. It's the nostalgia fact of it, the old artwork, just the like. When do you ever get like even look at? Oh, there goes the book. But look at this. You have like even Darth on the side of the box. Like you don't get some of this packaging anymore with the DVD kind of things. It's so good, unreal.
Yeah, I really like that. I took an interest in it.
And for those listening and without being able to see, you've got to check out our YouTube channel and you'll be able to see our live recording.
But also, just before you get into the positives, Cooper, I think when you get to the negatives, this is I think we'll butt into if we liked it or didn't like it, because I'm really interested to see what kind of negatives if you had any, because I think you don't have many.
Not really, no.
Interesting. I'm surprised, Mark. I'm surprised. Really?
Really?
All right. Let's get into this, Cooper.
All right. Okay. Mine are kind of specific. I kind of went both. I really liked Luke's introduction in this movie. I thought it was quite sinister, which is why I said at the start that I thought Revenge of the Jedi was an interesting title. You can also see the anger in Luke throughout the movie, even towards the end when he's fighting Vader. And
I don't know if I call it anger.
Well, it is. It's the anger that his sister could be in danger. Passion is a trait of them.
By the way, when you said who says the quote "Revenge is not the Jedi way"?
Because
Vader.
It's Vader in Rebels.
In Rebels.
Mm.
Does he say?
Is it?
Is it said in the movie though?
I thought it was said in the prequels.
Yes, I'm thinking. You know why? I'm bringing this up because when you said I was thinking about when you said about the title Revenge of the Jedi. Did George obviously maybe not? Well, he didn't change it in the end, but did he think revenge is a Jedi thing? Did he think at the time it was?
Maybe.
Did he not like because that line is iconic now. Revenge is not the Jedi way.
Is it when Anakin's fighting Dooku maybe in episode 3?
No.
No, I know Darth says it in Rebels. Revenge is not the, and then she goes, "I'm no Jedi."
Even if it wasn't established, even if it wasn't established, I still feel like that.
It's such a
powerful
word.
It is a powerful word, but just it doesn't have to define who he truly is. It's just the character in the movie. And I do agree that Luke is very he's got a very big shift in between the way he behaves. It's the kind of the calm and collecting presence, the strategist, and then there's the tempered, aggressive fighter.
Yeah, he goes from 0 to 100 very quick.
He does.
Yeah, and this
does. And I mean, that's his emotion, and that's him giving into the dark side. So that's like, again,
so
revenge.
He still has this when he's older in Last Jedi. He hasn't got out of the phase.
Is he the Last Jedi?
Oh my God.
Is the Last Jedi even a thing?
Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. I've sparked Mark again. Sorry, guys.
That's my biggest issue with the Last Jedi is Luke.
Yeah, that's true. That's mine too. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
You just have no limits. All you're doing is provoking me to make a stronger case for the
how great is the Last Jedi episode going to be, guys?
Oh, it's going to be bad.
I think this might be thrown. I'm not joking. You see little R2D2 here?
Going out the window.
No, I was going to say you might be hitting your head sometime.
Oh, that's a threat.
This Java. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Yeah, come
on. Speaking of Java, well, kind of.
Java.
I really liked the Rancor scene.
Yeah.
And the music, even though it was kind of cringe. I liked it.
Cringe?
I'm a sucker.
Really?
I'm going to talk about the negatives later about the Rancor bit. There is a negative I have about it, which Mark said it was a positive.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that this movie did really well at did really well at the battles to end the acts.
Yep.
So I think that the
100%.
battle on the floating ships or the whatever they're called,
the barge, sail barges.
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps watching that. I'm like, oh my
The
goodness, this is
explosion.
awesome.
Yeah.
Explosion was awesome.
Just the whole
And when
sequence
Luke's
of it,
on
Luke's
top of it.
bouncing around the ships and Leia's doing her thing, and
Han's killing
accidentally
Boba Fett.
killing Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
and
Yeah.
Lando.
Yeah. And just even the threat of the
Music
Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc,
Yeah.
and people dying, falling in every left, right, and center. It's good. Yeah.
He got a good feed that day.
Well,
He did. He
definitely.
took a
You've
great
been
video.
in bed for years.
Except for Boba Fett.
Oh,
He managed to get out.
Actually, fun fact: how did that stormtrooper get in there in the Boba Fett show? There was no stormtroopers there. He must
Maybe
have-
different time.
Maybe the
New
Empire
Hope.
went to see what happened.
Yeah, maybe.
Not that they're.
Well, I mean, Jabba the Hutt, a very important figure, had to die, so maybe they did go to check it out.
And maybe he sent him in there.
Maybe.
That'd be funny. Yeah.
I'm kind of skipping along here
That's
because there was a
alright.
bit of a middle section that just kind of went by and I didn't realize.
Mm.
Luke and Leia's conversation, I know you've already talked about it.
On Endor.
Fantastic. Yeah, on Endor was really good. It was really vulnerable for both of the characters. I feel like that was the first time where they've able to be kind of open to each other and see each other in a different way as siblings rather than just friends.
So the dialogue actually was good in that scene, which shows how good. If Star Wars had actually good dialogue a lot of the time, it would carry a lot of the movies.
And they both seem to read each other really well. I mean, Leia kind of keeps asking him what's wrong because she can tell something's wrong, and then they kind of bounce off each other really nicely.
It shows that she's got really strong force abilities in this one,
Yeah.
isn't it? She really everything senses everything, you know, which is good.
I also really like Luke and Vader's conversation on Endor before they head up to the ship.
Well.
I want to speak about this later, but I think this is really telling about the transition from Vader to Anakin.
Yeah, there's a bit of Anakin in this scene.
Well, I'm not even thinking there's a bit. I think that might be Anakin. I think Anakin turns well before. No. I've got to tell you why.
No.
I'll tell you why later.
I can somewhat get on board with that, but I don't.
Then it
think
would ruin the whole.
I don't think I'd say fully.
It would,
it
would
think
ruin
it's
the whole.
a lot.
It would ruin that whole pre stuff with the fight.
I think it's like Kylo Ren almost. He's still torn between the light and the dark.
Yeah, maybe that whole bit.
But he feels more light, whereas Kylo feels more dark.
He didn't say much in that. That bit where Luke's kind of looking out the window.
He did.
Maybe he's contemplating.
Maybe He did, however, ignore Emperor's questions a lot in this one, and Luke's.
That's true.
He actually didn't answer a lot of questions. He would always just pose a new thing.
Real politician.
Yeah.
In my head, the second that Vader starts referring to Luke as
his
son
son,
yeah.
is the moment he's changed to
When
Anakin.
Emperor asked him why I told you not to leave the command ship, why are you here?
Yeah.
And then he talks about Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he starts
Doesn't
ignoring his
answer the
questions.
question.
Yeah, and then even I think we're talking about the same thing, but
Mm.
when Palpatine says, you wish to continue the search for the young Skywalker,
Mhm.
and he's like, I need to see my son,
Mm.
or I want to find my son.
Yeah, but I think when I watched it as a kid, I always thought that was because he wanted to turn him bad, and then those two would take out Emperor and rule
No.
together, similar to like how he wanted kind of Obi-Wan with him.
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, but you never know. They
Yeah,
don't
that's it.
specifically say it, so
That's
you
it,
don't.
yeah.
It's all up for interpretation, but that's what we're here for. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Speaking of Luke and Vader, that fight, the lightsaber battle, even though it was kind of cut strangely, that was, in
Yeah.
my opinion, with the music and the emotional stake and just the choreography, was
The
pure
action itself.
cinema. It was just, it gave me chills and goosebumps all over, and you don't get that experience anymore when you watch a movie, and it's something really special when you can watch it time and time again and still anticipate that scene and be like, oh, I can't wait for this scene to come.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get goosebumps.
I think it just goes to show also though how much we do like the Star Wars movies, because it doesn't matter if a movie's good or bad. If you really like something, you will get goosebumps every time a scene that you really like happens, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
some people might not get goosebumps from that, but that's fair enough. But the only thing I have an issue with that one is why don't we get to see the start of the fight? Apart
Yeah,
from
I
the
know.
lightsaber.
Yeah,
It cuts and then it cuts to Luke kicking him off off the stairs from an Endor like battle. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
That-
This movie
fine,
was
though.
paced horribly.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk about that in a
so
minute.
will
I will admit that fight was a lot better than I remember it being.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I don't know if it was because we were watching it at like 30 volume or something, but it felt
You could hear it a lot more.
really emotional.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we heard a lot of the subtle like music cues. Like remember even we heard like a silent like Emperor one that came in randomly.
There was a very subtle Emperor when Luke, I think it was when
after he took out Darth's arm.
Yes, I think it was when that anger took over him.
Yeah,
and
like
there's a very because it was one of the lighter themes, but then it very subtly changes to Palpatine's theme at that.
Oh,
part.
I know what you're
the
thinking
ship
as well. Yeah.
But
when he's walking down the stairs.
yeah,
and
when
you're
he's
like,
walking down
oh,
the
here we go,
stairs,
here we go.
like, has he gone to the dark side?
Yeah,
Like,
well, imagine watching
mean,
that in the movie theater, not knowing what happens. That's what I always wish I could like.
Yeah.
Every time I watch a movie, I wish I could just turn off everything I remember about it and then relive it. That's what I wish I could do.
I hope we get a device one day that allows us to do that.
That'd be
Imagine
so
getting
much
to
fun.
relive Star Wars again for the first time.
And start from like 4, 5, 6 and be like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to get into. You know, oh, wow, that'd be so good.
Someone needs to develop that. If anyone out there is listening, make it your life goal to do that, please.
Thank you.
Last positive, I really like Luke. I think he was great in Empire. He's even better in this movie.
Yeah,
the
100%.
complexity of his character is just taken to another level.
Oh, not whiny.
Well, just I think about where he was in A New Hope, and he seemed like such a boring character, and now he's got all the wisdom and the knowledge, but he's still so emotionally complicated. It's just but like emotionally complicated in the sense that he doesn't really know what to feel or think.
Yeah.
Whereas he was in A New Hope, he was choosing to feel whingy and whatever else.
Choosing to feel.
Yeah, I was thinking as well. Choosing, what an interesting choice of word.
Well, I mean, okay, fine.
That's
He was feeling whingy because he chose to.
Didn't get what he wanted.
Yeah, so I think the character development was really good. Anyway,
just weird to think about the farm boy Luke and this Luke. It feels like so different.
Two different characters.
That's the same with Anakin. I feel like I had that more with Anakin though, especially through the Clone Wars. How crazy was his?
Luke and then...
But okay, I'm not going on a tangent. No one respond. I'm just going to say it as a statement. This is how I felt. What went wrong really with the sequel trilogy? There was. Just let me go. Just let me go. Kylo Ren, on the other hand, I did think he had an actual character development, even within the 3 movies, and not being in as a main character. Rey, on the other hand, she didn't feel like she changed throughout the whole thing. She stayed from what she was at Jakku. You know, she didn't have a moment of weakness, really. She didn't have any. But that's my little tangent. And now let's continue.
God, that was. I tuned out. I didn't really listen. Sorry.
Yeah,
oh wow! I
sure.
can't wait for Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. 2v1.
Explicit, your Last Jedi.
2v1.
2v1.
Don't you mean 2v1 in his facts, one in his opinions, one in his?
Actually, do we mean 2v plus the billion other people who don't like the movie, plus maybe
One.
an extra 2 or 3?
Yeah, that's good. That's right.
Okay, all right.
Alright,
Just
let's
wait.
He's so triggered. He's so triggered.
Alright, let's get
Look
back
at
on
the tail is shaky.
back on track. Back on track. Where were we?
Negatives.
You don't have many, so
I don't have many, and I know I've said, and I'll continue to say I cut it slack, but the special effects weren't the best.
No, they were
But-
pretty bad.
Oh, pretty bad.
But for the time it was made at, I let it go.
I disagree.
I thought the puppeteering was alright, like with the Rancor and even Yoda. That was pretty
I
good.
disagree heavily.
I've always thought Yoda's puppeteering was good. Yeah,
I disagree because I think Empire and New Hope had better visuals, but
I reckon Empire.
this one had more visual effects in it.
Yeah.
So it kind of weighs it out. You know what I mean? There was no speed of
I
chase
think
scenes.
Empire, I'd probably agree, but
I think
A
in
New
terms of
Hope,
movie,
I
yeah.
don't think so.
Aside from the lightsabers, I thought New Hope was almost pretty good because they
But we
really
gotta-
went into the models and everything. You know what I mean? They had to do
Yeah.
that, otherwise it would look real bad.
Got to
I
keep
think
in
this one
mind,
looks
though,
almost the worst. To be
this
honest,
time
out of
we
the three.
watch. Really think the worst. I was going to say we're going to keep in mind on this one we watched the Disney Plus version, so
Yeah, they
it's
have
meant
those
to be a bit
weird,
better.
and they have those weird CGI like additional things.
Yeah.
What George always like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else,
Okay.
Mark?
Ah,
No, is that your only negative?
so I can think of, but again, I know you guys are going to mention the pacing. I don't think it's as bad as you guys make out. I mean, I can sort of agree, but only to a limited
I'm just
extent.
comparing it to the other ones, in my opinion, in the pacing.
I'm just
That's why it's bad, in my opinion.
See, you said the same thing about A New Hope. You said the pacing was
Yeah.
really bad.
But
Well,
then,
in A New Hope, it's kind of similar to Return of the Jedi. The middle was
yes,
just
so dry.
slow.
You see, didn't you say the middle was long in Empire as well?
I did.
So
But it was
you think
actually-
all three of them you think had a long
Act
middle?
two. Act 2 is the worst act of all movies. Sorry.
Yeah, but then Act 2 also has the conflict,
The
building.
tension, the
Yeah,
building.
You know,
tells you what's the
without
issues.
that, then it wouldn't be in a movie, basically.
I know.
But I think Empire's Act 2 had a bit more of an interesting side plot.
It did.
When this one, and they went to different places. You know how he mentioned in the other ones, you barely go to like many places? This one, you went to 3, and it felt like the longest 3
It
planets I've
did.
ever.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Completely.
Like, we weren't on many for like Empire.
Well,
like, you're on Cloud City
is
for
one
half the
of-
time, but it felt like it was different parts of Cloud City, you know? Like, best, like,
When you
That's
say
the fun of it,
3,
I
are you
guess.
including Dagobah?
Yes.
Because are you talking about
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi, right?
No. Oh yeah.
Oh, I spoke
'Cause-
about Empire before. But...
Oh, Empire. I was gonna say because I don't think the Dagobah scene was long at all in this movie.
Yeah, but that's
No,
what I'm saying.
wasn't.
It's technically it's only 2 then, unless you count if you're counting every single scene, the environments, you got the inside the Rebellion fleet, outside space above Endor, Death Star, Endor, and Dagobah
Tatooine.
and Tatooine.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Quite a bit, but you're only on 3 actual main planets.
I feel like I'm forgetting a planet that was in this movie.
no.
And besides the ones at the end, like I feel like there
Oh,
should
yeah.
have been a planet or a story in the middle that didn't involve Ewoks.
I think you're thinking of Dagobah that just was
Yeah,
too
it
short.
breaks it up in the middle bit
Yeah.
between.
Because I thought it was alright until they like split up.
Yeah,
The pacing was it was
Luke
slow.
was away for a long time. He was watching that window for a long time. That's what I always find funny too. He's just standing there like,
That's true.
I can't do anything.
Oh, we couldn't.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean.
It was stuck between a rock and hard place.
Yeah, that's true. But I
Or
think
a Sith and a Sequel.
since we're on it, I think we should talk about the pacing. I think
yep,
this
do
is
it.
the second worst movie for pacing in the franchise.
And you think the first is A New Hope?
No, I think it's Phantom Menace. I've mentioned it in
Oh.
Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace, Return, A New Hope. That's my top 3
Top 3 worst.
pacing.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Phantom is pretty bad.
I think
Yeah.
I don't
Phantom's pretty bad.
I don't remember Jabba's palace being that long.
Long. Yeah, it felt long.
I can't say I remember it being that long either, but
Maybe it's because we were trying to like be more analytical watching it.
Maybe.
So we were watching and there was
what
like
was
weird
it,
dance
40
things.
about
It
40
was like
minutes.
40, 50
40
minutes.
including the sail barge, yeah.
And maybe that's why when I checked Dagobah, it felt like the time when we finished at Dagobah, it felt like it'd been so long, but
Yeah,
it
halfway
really
through the
wasn't.
movie, but it wasn't even half.
I know,
Yeah.
and then the Endor scene takes so long as well. So it's like such a long movie.
I think at least the Endor scene
Like
was
2 hours and
very
20.
enjoyable.
Yeah, it was 2 hours and 27 minutes or
You
something.
thought Endor was enjoyable.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I
Oh,
agree.
it-
Just
I'm
it
not,
took-
I'm
it
not
took
saying you
so
guys
long.
think it wasn't. but I think that makes up for how long they spent.
Yeah, but
there.
I just don't really. I'm not a big fan of the Ewoks. That's my other
Well, that's-
negative.
yeah.
I feel like
weird,
even
yeah.
maybe having the shield generator on another planet would
No, I reckon it would have been cool
Maybe
if the,
not.
if
No,
if
no,
Han had to do a flying like ship thing
Something
around
else needed
in
to
the
happen.
sky next to the Death Star.
something else needed to happen that was at least a bit stimulating.
Or they just had cut up the Tatooine scene a bit, or start the movie differently and have focus more on Darth, because it did at the start,
It did.
and then it just cut
That's a
instantly to
good point.
Jabbers.
If they had
If
more
they just had more of
Vader
a
and the
Vader
Emperor-
Death Star,
Vader and
like-
Emperor,
showing the threat,
yeah,
make the movie more intense than to begin with.
maybe giving the viewer hints that it was fully operational
Yeah,
rather than saying it right at the end.
yeah, literally. But I guess we're just gonna blurt out our cons and then we'll just discuss them as we go.
Mhm.
So the other one off the top of my head, I've already forgotten. I did just forget. So you can go.
Well,
Ewoks. That was
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay.
Ewoks. Thanks, Mark. You're a hero.
telepathy. There
What's
you
the
go.
saying that I'm the one that said Ewok?
Yeah.
I
So
guess I knew you would say it.
well, it was about when you guys mentioned. Anyway, the Ewoks. The main reason I don't like the Ewoks in this is because I know they were deliberately in here for purchase
Selling toys.
merchandise, toys, and to look cute and fluffy for kids,
Which they did.
which they did. But I thought they were so long, the scenes. I know we laughed a bit at them trying to cook them and stuff, and the C-3PO being a god. Holy cow, I was getting bored. That
subplot was.
I was like,
terrible.
why? Like Ewoks, man, they just slow the pace down. If you didn't have the Ewoks and just had the Imperial threat and the rebels trying to infiltrate it, and have the base instead of be like a little room, have an actual base, it would have been so
I
cool
think
to
the
see like a
reason-
spy kind of esque heist thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
I
Ewoks were so random.
can't
Man.
help but laugh every episode. I think we can't go one episode where Jack doesn't end at least one word in esque.
That's it.
But I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
sorry, I had to mention that. But I was
Yeah,
also
Mark's
gonna,
fun, but I had to.
I was just gonna
Another
say,
thing.
yeah, it's
Another
my-
thing.
It's my one. I was gonna say that the Ewoks, I think, are alright because sorry,
You go, what is it, Mark?
because they do a lot in terms of the battle,
Yeah, the
and they
battle was
have
cool.
they have importance because there was hardly any rebels on the forest.
I
Moon
get that.
anymore.
But I do get that. But then I guess you could say that also about Rogue One. They had no numbers, but they still managed to, do the battle. If you could say, not
Kind of,
lose
but in
instantly.
that they all died pretty much, like, and also very quickly they all
Yeah, I
died.
know, but that's
But in
because they
this-
couldn't leave the Death Star.
it-
They couldn't leave the what's it called, the planet.
Scarab.
'Cause- Yeah,
exactly. But in this one, they had the Ewoks to help them.
yeah, I know. But the Ewok scenes were cool with the battle. I just didn't think we needed to have weird one-on-one monologues and have C-3PO be a god. It was funny,
It was funny.
but it was so random. Fever dream. Who would ever think C-3PO will be considered a god among some sort of race?
Yeah, good point.
It's so random. What? How did he think of this? Like, it's just baffles me how this was in the theater. Like, it's just how's this theatrical? Like having Ewoks. I don't know. Like when you saw the Wookiees on Kashyyyk, strong. Oh, look at their kind of structures and stuff. Oh yeah, they're battling, and then Ewoks.
Mm.
So random. Anyway,
Can I just mention something?
I also
quickly?
like that the Ewoks are really primitive in their technology.
yeah. Well, that's why George was initially meant to have
Wookiees.
Wookiee. This was meant to be, I guess, the Kashyyyk of the Wookiees, but then he's like, oh, how can Chewbacca be so good with technology and flying ships when
True.
their race is so primitive? Because it was always meant to be, you know what I mean? So that's why they changed it. So imagine having Kashyikians, I was going to say, Wookiees. Imagine that. That would have been a strong. I mean, that would have ended the fight in like 2 seconds.
That would have, yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Anyway.
your point referring to Ewoks?
No.
Alright, well,
Alright, well,
can I say one last
yeah,
thing about
finish
them?
it up.
Goodness.
I think that
Ewoks have got a lot of
I've been put on
talk.
hold for like 5
this
minutes.
is more
yeah.
of an analytical thing, and
Yeah.
I think George has said it himself, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before. The Ewoks, are they not based upon or
Yeah, they are.
whatever on the Viet Cong in
Mm.
Vietnam?
Mhm.
So I think that sort of analytical approach to this scene with like the the locals knowing the terrain and knowing
Using it around.
against the foreign powers who are impeding on their jungle land.
Star Wars, whether he likes it or not, has always been political, though, hasn't it?
Always.
It's the good versus bad. They portray them as Nazis, basically, or you know what I mean. So, but it's just whatever floats your boat, I guess, in how you want to portray it, though. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's
no.
however you want. It's space.
I know.
It's fictional in the end.
No, it's like the phrase "float your boat." That's it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. It's all analytically and
It depends what you believe in the end. You know what I mean? Like you believe that they're a representation of Viet Cong.
And I believe that because I'm pretty sure George has said it.
Yeah, but also like he's gone off his own perspective on what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like his perspective's not the
That's
only
his
one you
view,
have
yeah.
to
I know.
take
Yeah.
up. Like obviously,
but I can
some people
agree
might
with
side with the stormtroopers. We all know this, you know what I mean? Like we all think the bad guys are cool anyway. So
in this series.
yes, yeah.
All right. So my point is in reference. Okay, let's talk about the plan to destroy the shield generator quickly.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
No, because it
Yeah, I
kind of
agree.
sounds
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Does it?
Not actually the plan.
He said
sorry.
it. He said it out loud when they
No,
go in.
Not the plan. Sorry, my mistake. The actual sequence of events that unfolds.
Yeah.
So first of all, they chase off some stormtroopers on speeders. Leia meets the Ewoks. Then they reunite.
They get
Up in
welcomed
the
into the
trees.
tribe.
But then yeah,
After some
actually,
weird
Stormtroopers
god
don't
stuff.
do anything after that, even though they know that.
Then they plan. Luke goes to meet Vader. The others. It all starts when Han decides to tap a stormtrooper on the shoulder, and then I forgot what happens to the. Oh no, chases in. That's right.
Yeah, and then they capture him.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then they break into the facility.
Even though Emperor already says before, by the way, it says, "Oh, we know."
I know, yeah.
Yeah, but that
But-
was all part of the trap.
They break into
this
the
is where it gets-
facility.
Yeah.
Then they get surrounded by Imperials and bought out. That's when the Ewoks attack.
Yeah.
But the facility's closed off again. So
Yeah.
what do they try and do? They try and get back in.
Yeah, because they need to destroy it.
Yeah, I know. But just the whole sequence
Yeah,
of
it
events
felt
where it's like, oh,
in,
they're
out,
in, then
in,
they're
out.
out, and then they're in, and then they're... It just...
But then they're in, and then they get jumped and surprised by the stormtroopers. Then they all go out, and then they get the storm. Then they kill the stormtroopers. Then they
and
go
then jump
back
like
in.
Ewoks.
Yeah, it's so
But I don't
weird.
see any.
And then they don't even end up like needing to go back in because they just destroy the...
Yeah,
Oh,
but
no,
they do-
they do.
they
Yes,
do.
that's my bad,
I was
yes.
gonna say, can't you just? You saw how big the explosion was. Couldn't you just plan that on the outside?
No, because that would have only. First of all, I'm sure the outside was reinforced. Second,
Oh,
it was
like
dug
just
into the
concrete.
ground. What concrete?
Yeah, it looks like just concrete.
And third of all, that would have only destroyed the opening.
Interesting.
I just thought it was strange.
It felt a bit
'cause-
weird
first-
pace wise.
Yeah.
I feel like if you put yourself into their shoes, that it makes sense.
Yeah, I can
Because they
understand
get
that.
captured, they get arrested essentially and sent outside.
Well, they didn't. I guess I
Where
didn't
they
need to get arrested.
They
yeah.
get jumped by the Ewoks. They fight the stormtroopers, and then, well, what's their goal? They need to destroy the shield generator, and to do that, they need to get back in.
Yeah, it just feels weird as a movie standpoint.
Oh, and then to get everyone outside, all the Imperials outside once they've cleared out
Yeah,
the forces,
they do a fake.
they do a fake like video thing
Yeah.
and tell them all to come out.
And then they
And then
run
they-
out.
Yeah,
That's an
just-
ATS.
It's just so.
It
They
is
spent a lot
strange.
of time in and out of that thing.
It is
Yeah.
strange. Anyway, that was just a nitpick.
I
sorry?
guess, but I'll disagree.
Any other major cons?
I do.
Yeah, go for it.
I do. I talked about the sequence of events that happened in just before what we're talking about the
Shield
facility.
generator.
Yeah. But now I want to talk about
Shield
the
generator.
plan to save Han.
You did mention this. You did mention this.
Oh yeah, you said this when we
Yeah.
were watching it.
Yeah.
I want to give credit to a video I can't remember the name of, but they basically outlined the whole stupid plot of this.
Deliberately get captured.
Well, no, not deliberately. You gotta
Because
think.
other
So Luke's first idea to get Han back was to send
Droids.
droids in,
To
which
deliver a
worked,
message, yeah.
but it kind of backfired. So then he sends in Leia with
Oh.
Chewbacca.
Before you continue, I thought this is all one plan. I'm almost sure it was all one plan.
No, he's going through the plan.
Yeah, I'm going through the plan.
He's breaking
But
it down.
It sounded
Saying,
like you said he did that, and then that failed. So instead, he sent the other two.
Well, no, it didn't.
well, he's trying to say it worked, but it kind of didn't in the favor probably
Just
of
in general.
in general.
Okay, the
Okay.
plans to
Okay,
save
the
Han.
phases, if you
Yeah,
like.
the
okay.
phases. Yeah,
So didn't work out with the droids. Then he sent in Leia
as a bounty hunter.
with Chewbacca. I don't even know.
It-
with the thermal
It
detonator.
did feel like just reinforcements trying to get him in
yeah.
one at a
And then
time.
it's revealed that Lando's there, which I'm sure he
How
was
did he
probably
get
just shoehorned in there,
Yeah.
probably forced in there somehow. By
Well,
And
he
then when
dresses
Leia-
the guard.
When
Yeah,
Leia's
we didn't see
forced
it.
into a slave
Yeah,
Attire.
yeah, and
That's-
Yeah, so whack.
they fail to get Han. I mean, they get him out of carbonite, which is one thing, but
Mm.
that doesn't do much. Then Luke's like, "Oh, okay, I'll go do it myself," and then that doesn't work because he ends up getting captured.
Yep.
And then down in the Rancor, and then he beats it, and then they go to execute it, and then it's like, "Oh, this is the plan all along because we're gonna get the lightsaber
Yeah,
on
he,
the deck."
he planned to
Well,
get like
what?
captured on the sail barge. Almost.
That's so stupid.
I think the plan was initially R2 inside the palace was meant to send the lightsaber
Yes.
in front of Jabba
I reckon.
before the Rancor.
Okay, here's
He was
what-
going to get the lightsaber from
I
Jabba if
think
he wasn't
when
going to hand him
I think
over.
The lightsaber in R2 was perfectly fine because he could have just given it to
Use
him
it
in the
anytime.
palace.
Yeah.
I think where the plan failed is they didn't know about the trapdoor.
Mm. That's
Which is
where
where
it
Luke-
changed the plan. Yeah,
Luke fell down, and then
So
they had to
you're-
improvise.
So you're saying that
the plan was always meant to. I know where. I think you're thinking similar. He was if Jabba wasn't going to willingly hand over because he was meant to use fear.
He was going to use the
Basically,
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, to get him easily,
Mm.
and fear of being a Jedi to get everyone out of there. But then he was going to end up using R2's
Secret compartment.
with the lightsaber, and then he was just going to go down with everyone in there with
Okay.
Lando and Chewie and
Yeah.
everyone.
on the surface, though, it seems like a pretty silly plan to send so
it is
many
pretty
people
dumb.
in, and especially important people to the rebellion, like
It's-
Leia, especially.
It's pretty dumb. You're just sending in people basically, hoping that Luke can do all the work with inside too. You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking about it because
You might as well just carry the
Leia
lightsaber.
would have wanted to go herself to save Han. I'm just thinking, would she have gone in with Chewie simply for an excuse to get in, or is that
No.
why she was with Chewie?
No, I think the
What's
bounty
point
was
of sending
maybe
Chewie?
that was maybe just an
to get
easy way
some
to
money.
purchase.
Yeah,
No,
guess so.
not some. This way to get him Han out because she wasn't planning on getting captured either.
Yeah,
I think it initially was almost just get Leia to be the extraction, and then Luke was a backup almost, which felt weird
that's
because
what I'm
then
saying.
the
Would she-
message portrayed was before Leia. Yeah, you're right. It's so
The silly plan.
intricate for no reason. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was so basic plan, but then it got intricate for no reason.
And then, I mean,
And then he
pretty
acts
much
like it
all
was-
of Jabba's like people, and even Jabba, they're killed.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
it's like
it's-
a plan success.
Yeah.
Luke says himself, "You've made your final mistake, Jabba."
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I- If you don't, I have one.
Yeah.
I wrote the essay on it.
Just go. Actually, no, I'll go first because mine's
I
quick.
got so
Mine's
excited.
quick.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't know if I like or dislike the idea of space drugs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jabba doing space drugs.
Is it drugs?
And even with
I
the
think so.
spice.
Yeah, spice has always been a bit weird
Which
too.
part's that again? Is that in
In-
Solo?
No, just
No,
yeah.
Bubba.
Well,
Yeah, the Kessel.
Pike's always yeah.
Even in book of Boba
Drugs in Star Wars is a weird thing. Even the smoking. I
That's
guess
sticks.
they're trying to make it. Yeah.
Spice gives me June vibes too
Yeah, it
much.
does.
Too much.
Yeah,
June vibes.
that's
I think
true.
I said
That's
that 2 weeks in a row.
Anyway, I remember.
Do you want to hype?
It's gonna be funny as.
Let's go! Yeah! What are you gonna say?
How can the Emperor foresee the future
Oh, boring.
of Luke going to see Darth Vader and going to Darth Vader, but then he must have lied, right? In terms of saying, I wrote this so badly.
Yeah.
Unless he was lying, then why did he lose? Oh yeah, no. You know how he said he could foresee the future?
Yes.
I foresee the future.
Everything.
I have
is
foreseen it, yeah.
Yeah,
because I
then
have
how?
foreseen
Then
it.
how did he? Then how couldn't he foresee the future before seeing that his plan was all along gonna fail? Basically,
Maybe he didn't
something
foresee
went wrong.
Vader's turn.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
I don't know. That's what I was trying to say.
And I
What
don't
plan?
think he also.
I was gonna say
knew that
maybe
Luke would be so.
maybe I was trying to say he maybe just lied to Darth saying he foresees him going to him, or he just assumed. It wasn't a foresee the future. It was an assumption Luke was going to end up. Because of then he could foresee everything.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
He never knew this power existed before. He should have foreseen that Anakin was going to lose to Obi-Wan.
It's stupid, isn't it?
Then he would have.
Hey.
Then Emperor would have foreseen that Anakin was
You
going
know
to
what
lose to
he could have
Obi-Wan,
done?
and then he would have prevented that because Anakin would have been stronger without being in the Darth pit.
Yeah.
So that line was
maybe
just so irrelevant.
He force seeing.
Ah.
That's
That's so bad. Anyway, I just thought I was like, that line there. I only probably saw that because of the captions we had on. I was like, that was so weird. I was like, why did he have to say that? Like to say, I assume Luke will come to you. You know, it's so random. So random. Oh, the only other last thing I really do have is I wrote why he no use force. He barely used the force, right? For instance, in the Jabba scene, the Rancor scene, he could have just forced the whole pillar onto the Rancor. He didn't use the force on the sail barge, force everyone off. He barely used the force. Like he uses it like
You
once
said
or
that
twice.
about, like every Star Wars movie though.
No, I don't say the force is not being. No, it's just the original trilogy that never used the force.
I love your
Yeah.
excitement to
Yeah, he's like, well, you forgot what he was gonna say. I had to take a deep breath.
I have to prepare. I just don't understand why he doesn't use the force,
That's
and that
hilarious.
is my negatives done.
well done.
Yeah,
They
thank you.
got pretty heated at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Scores.
Yep.
I need to flip to the score page.
I'm ready. I don't need to know what my other ones
I
were.
do need to.
No, because it's movie by movie. It's independent.
independent.
Return of the
Sith.
Jedi. All right, go.
I gave A New Hope less than I thought I did.
Well, I want to know now. You've got
What?
it now.
You gave A New Hope 7.
Yeah.
You gave The Empire Strikes Back 9.6. Yes. Well, waiting.
I've
I
got
thought you said
mine.
you knew.
7. I didn't.
I think I got
7.5.
Oh,
Because I only think that last bit is really the carrying factor in it.
Gee willikers. All right. Yep.
9.0.
9?
9.0. 9.0.
9? Really? 9.
9.0. You got to write it.
No,
It's
because I
gonna
did
trigger it.
9 for me.
Oh.
No. I will
Triggered you now.
give it. I will give it an. Oh.
It
That
better
sounded
be.
like it was
It
gonna
better
an
be in the
something.
8s because I was tempted to do an 8 on the dot. But I thought.
Oh, you thought? No, just drop down another
Well, I
5.
guess the thing is though, the whole movie as a whole, I was pretty bored about it.
Yeah,
apart from
no.
the end half.
No,
That doesn't carry a movie
no,
into a
okay.
score.
To be honest,
It's
here's
above
how,
average.
here's how I'm gonna view it. It was a pretty entertaining movie.
It was.
It's great. No, the first half I was bored.
Okay, well that's you. I
Yeah,
had a
that's
good
you.
time with it.
I didn't.
I had a good time.
I did as well.
I thought
He's outvoted.
the emotional.
He's outvoted.
Last
So
Jedi.
it doesn't matter anymore.
Last Jedi moment.
Yeah. You guys are eagerly looking at the page. I thought it was great emotional payoff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where my 7.5 comes from.
Oh my
Well,
God.
so
I'm gonna give
everything
it
else is a
a
zero.
very
Oh.
respectable. I haven't put a movie in the 8s yet. Well,
I
we're gonna
have
do it
to?
now. 8.7.
I have.
Oh, so
I've been the
close.
most
8.7
critical.
back for you
I've been the
here.
most critical. But the thing is, though, that looks bad. 7, 9.6, 7.5 is still probably my favorite trilogy.
Okay, I mean, you gave.
The rest were pretty bad. The Phantom and Attack. So
Has anyone got higher than Jack's
No.
score for Revenge of the
I
Sith?
should be
No.
giving it a 10. To be honest, that is
It's not a perfect.
Which was what, a
movie,
no a
9.8?
perfect Star Wars movie. It's not. I'm going to Star Wars movies.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna do something different, but something we know. We're gonna do the scene change just quickly.
Okay.
We're normally finished with that, but I thought because it's on the same page, I'll do it.
I said mine out loud. Now I can't remember. What was it again? You remember? You remember what I said?
No,
'Cause I can't remember.
Something about Boba Fett.
No, that was last time.
Oh,
My
okay.
scene change.
Oh no, that was okay.
The
That was for
entire
the sequels.
script.
That was for the sequels.
Yeah.
I just remembered.
No, I think mine would be. It's very general, but redo the whole first 40 minutes of the film somehow with Jabba.
Yeah, okay.
Like I think it was a bit clunky in my opinion. Weird. I know the music was pretty funky, but like kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, I just felt like it was a weird fever dream. Like imagine going to the movies after watching the cliffhanger of Empire Strikes Back and going, yeah, let's get into this, and then
It's like pretty friendly. I think you remember that so well.
Like it's like what is this so random? I don't understand. Like redo that scene, please. Thank you.
You're like on the same par as Mark with impressions.
Yeah, that was good ads.
That's incredible. Oh my God.
Anyway, that
incredible.
is my scene change. Just fix that up.
I
because
think-
it felt weird.
I think I can have two, and I think they're both the same sentiment. I would have probably liked to have seen a bit more of Yoda.
I can't think of this James impression. Sorry, go.
Yeah, I think a bit more of Yoda would have been good.
That would have been good.
More Dagobah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think possibly a bit more of between Luke
Training?
and Vader. No, Luke and Vader at the end, like when Anakin was back. Anakin and Luke, I should have said. That would have been good.
That would have been good.
A Force Ghost at the
Because
end.
I think it was still good the
Yeah.
way, like when he died on the ship
Oh yeah.
and how they had that chat.
I was hoping a Force Ghost chat would be nice because you already had
I
Force
had
Ghost
all
chats
that-
with the others.
I
That'd
thought,
be-
yeah, Force goes say always.
Or even at the end saying, "Thanks, Father," because that's something he would say. And he goes, "No,
I knew
you
you had
saved
it in
me.
you or something.
you saved me. You saved me, Luke." Yeah.
Would he say it 3 times? Like,
No,
And
I'm
at
just,
the end
I'm
goes,
just,
yeah.
this is so much script out in my head, you know.
Okay, all right, fine.
Anyway, what's your scene change?
Mine. This is gonna sound very weird. I would make the Emperor more evil.
He was already electrocuting him.
I know he was.
The
But
thing
the way
about-
he talks,
that's cool
it's just
thing
kind of like, oh, so.
No, I thought it was
Easy.
intimidating.
I
thought
completely
it was
disagree.
intimidating. Yeah,
I
completely
think
do too.
Emperor was great as
In
a
this
log,
movie.
and he's meant to be more of a cunning villain than
Yeah, he's like the Yoda of the villains.
kind of.
I just think
Like
about
he's
where he was.
wiser now at this point. He's not,
For the,
aside from the
in a
electrocuting.
different way.
I just
Yeah.
think about where he is in Rise of Skywalker. I keep mentioning
Yeah,
this
but
movie.
don't compare it.
No, I'm
right
not
now.
comparing. I'm saying that
He was evil in that one.
Yeah, it just sounds and acts
in that
way more
movie,
sinister.
That's
It wasn't really him.
see, not
It's a
gonna lie,
clone,
that, see, that's exactly what I was gonna
Yeah,
say. It
Okay,
doesn't
alright.
I don't. It's just like so. You've done it again.
You've done it. You've done it again,
it's
Cooper.
just like-
You've done it again.
Just like how I don't think that it was Luke in Episode 8. The Emperor Master Skull. You shouldn't have compared it at all
I didn't.
because you did.
I didn't.
You said he's
You
more
did.
evil. You said he's more evil, which yes, technically he is, but I don't think that at all is Emperor
Okay.
because he's
Sure.
just. He's
I'm
meant
just
to
looking
be.
at the camera right now and just seeing these two go head to head.
meant
It's
be
so
more-
funny.
It's meant to be more of a cunning villain. Like I think it's just.
Okay. My
don't know
opinion.
how to
I
describe-
wanted to see him more evil. I thought
But
the
he's
illusion we
evil
got
in a different way.
evil in a different way. Yeah. Okay.
I love it. I love
Trying to
the
hide?
debates. Yeah, I love the debates. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. It's time for
Who has more screen time? Come on, Jack.
No, I'm gonna
You're
lose.
winning.
I'm gonna lose.
If you win this, you can.
I don't
I
know.
actually
this-
reckon you might win because
Wait, what's
you
the- yeah,
you seem
what's
to
the
have the
difference?
timing in your head.
You're
seem to
up
have-
2. You're up
Wasn't he
5
up
to
by-
3.
Wasn't he up by like?
So if I win
4?
this one, Mark can only draw with me technically. If I win this one,
Yeah.
yeah. Huh. Nice.
So that's something
This
to play
is
for.
on to you, Mark. Otherwise, I'm keeping. I'm gonna tactically lose.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, same thing. I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
And say it at the same time. Well, no, it was 8 last time.
No, I'm giving you 5.
Damn it.
Okay. Who has more?
I'm staring
screen-
at you, Mark.
Okay. I'm gonna make this one.
And I'm not staring at you, Jack.
I'm in your head.
No, you're not.
Sorry, I'm ready.
Who has more screen time?
Who has more screen time? Wedge, Antilles, or Boba Fett?
Why is it always Wedge?
Boba Fett.
Well, hang on. You meant to say it at the same time. Sorry, I meant to count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boba Fett.
All right, you are both wrong.
Whoa, really?
I thought. To be fair though, those fight scenes could have been clipped like, and it shows him, and then boop.
Wedge Antilles somehow has 1:15. Boba has 1 minute.
Does it count with the Boba Fett in the background of like every shot in
Yes.
the Jabbas?
And the fight.
Really?
And the fight.
Really?
That's
No
not
way.
right at
That's
all.
more than a minute.
Yeah.
He was like not. Doesn't
I
count the
reckon-
background scenes. I don't know, or is it the
3.
ones where he's in the
And
actual frame?
Wedge is like, yeah, he's in it as a pilot, but nowhere near a minute
Yeah.
15.
But
surely.
how many
You-
times do we point out a solid 5 seconds of Boba Fett just chilling in the back?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is the segment turn?
So
It's
many
betting
times.
against me. I'm just going off this
Okay, we'll
source.
take the
So
L. We'll take the L.
Show me your source.
who has more screen time, R2D2 or Jabba the Hutt?
I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
R2D2.
Congratulations.
Yes.
He was in it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he was in Endor, so you assume that.
Yeah. He's
yeah.
in like the whole movie.
Yeah, so you just
Here's
assume
the thing, right? Jabba has 6 minutes 15.
that's a lot
R2 only has 7 minutes 15.
because R2 wasn't in the Jabba scene that much when, apart from when he first got in and he saw him on the barge.
Yeah.
You didn't see him in between there
But he was pretty much in
because
the rest of the
C-3PO
movie.
I
was
thought he was in
translated.
Endor quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
I guess
was.
that's because he missed out on the minute or two on the
Who has more screen time? Lando Calrissian or Emperor Palpatine? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Emperor.
Correct.
Yeah.
Man, was that 1 or 2 all? Oh man, it's 2 all.
all. Lando had 5 minutes 15. Palpatine 6 minutes 15.
Oh, it's so close.
That's it.
To be fair, he wasn't in it for that much. I thought it would be less than. I thought it'd be 5 for him.
Who has more screen time? C-3PO or Darth Vader? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Darth Vader.
C-3PO is
Wait, before you
13
say anything, the only thing I just realized after I said C-3PO, I know this segment, right? Why would a technically still an actor behind the suit, but why would a droid get more screen time than like Darth Vader? So that's I'm a bit considering now, but I'm scared. All right, let's go.
C-3PO has 13 minutes and
Ooh.
30 seconds. Darth Vader, 14 minutes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
45.
I was thinking that at the end. I was like, they wouldn't give a droid more than like Darth, you know. Oh, damn it! I should have stuck to my gun.
Who has more screen time? Obi-Wan Kenobi or Admiral Akbar? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Obi-Wan.
No points.
Oh, really?
I was thinking Admiral at first because
I
we
was
saw
as
him in
well.
more scenes,
Yeah.
but then the dialogue I thought was
Yes,
longer
that
in
was my
Dagobah.
thought. My thought
Obi-Wan
process as
had
well.
2 minutes 15. Akbar 2 minutes 45.
Oh, 30
Closer,
seconds.
Yeah,
This one might. I want you.
Mark's
to
gonna win it. Mark's gonna win.
Hey, don't say
I
anything.
want you to. I've still got 3 more to go, but I
Oh,
want
still
you to
won't.
think about this one. Who has more screen time?
Well, give us more than 5 seconds.
If you want us to
8.
think about it.
8 seconds.
Han Solo or Leia? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Leia.
Han.
I was thinking Han, but
Because
I
I'm-
switched to Leia.
It's a bit of a bad.
Han has 17 minutes and 45 seconds. Leia, 21 minutes and 15
Yes!
seconds. Yeah.
I'm ahead. Let's
I
go.
was thinking they were together the entire time, aside from like
No,
the
because I
start.
was thinking more of like two.
When were they
bits.
not together?
Tatooine when she was in the very odd costume, and
Bahamas.
With the
Yeah, but how's that difference?
and
That's not
Endor, because she was with the Ewoks for so long, where we didn't
Yeah.
really see Han that much.
And she's also in the speeder chase as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, Han was in this.
yeah, we didn't see
I was
Han,
thinking,
but-
you know what I was primarily thinking? Han
And that
because
whole-
Harrison's a bigger actor than Carrie at the time too.
Yeah.
and
I thought that they'll just give him more screen time because it's
the
Harrison.
whole conversation with Leia and Luke went for like 1 to 2 minutes. I'd say.
Yeah, that as well. That as well.
I was just thinking primarily on actors. Actors.
okay.
That Harrison gets more screen time, or he probably still got paid more probably because Harrison. But whatever. Let's continue.
Who has more screen time? Bib Fortuna or Nine Nunn?
Which one's 9 now?
The one that
The one in the
Falcon.
cockpit with Lando.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bib.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, I lost by 2.
You
Isn't
did.
there still one more?
There is one more.
I thought that was 3. Yeah.
But you can't win anymore.
Yeah, well, let me get close at least.
All right. Who has more screen time? Wicket or Yoda? 5, 4,
Easy.
3, 2, 1.
Yoda.
Wicket.
Wicket 3 minutes 30. Yoda 4 minutes.
Mhm.
Damn it. How was the Yoda in
Let's
there for 4
go.
minutes? That's BS.
Mark 6 of 8. Congratulations.
Thank you.
BS.
Very good. All right.
So what is the game score now?
You're
5
one.
to
You're,
5
you're
to
come.
4.
You're one back. Yeah, that was the one that you needed to win, or I technically couldn't lose.
Yes, that is
That
what
means
not
I need to
win
win
means.
all of them, doesn't it?
No,
I need to win all 3.
no,
you.
you
No,
only, we have
you're
3
only one
movies
behind,
left.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 1 behind.
No,
I
but
thought
the
it
thing
two
was,
behind.
if I won this one again, you were going to be 3 behind. We only have 3 movies left. If I just lost the other 3, you'd draw with me. So technically, I couldn't lose. Anyway,
Time for some quotes.
Yes.
All right.
Who's doing impressions?
I've got
I'm done with sound
two
impressions.
pages, and I want to
By the way,
do
guys.
the impression of the last one.
He's got the wrong
Yeah,
Wrong
shirt
yeah.
on.
movie. No, yeah.
Okay, first one. The Emperor is not as forgiving
Yeah,
as
yeah.
I am.
That's such a good one. It's probably my favorite in the movie.
Who wants to do
Big
Bib
shout
For-
out double R.
Who wants to do Bib Fortuna's one? No? Alright, I'll do it.
What?
Dewanga!
Look at
I
that.
couldn't
You got
remember.
Emperor. Wait, wrong side because it's mirrored. Emperor and Darth. Emperor and Darth. Lords of the Sith. Good book. Read it, guys.
Good, cool. Shout out.
Yeah.
Luke, which I believe is an emote in Battlefront 2, says, "Greetings, exalted one."
It is.
Yeah, I think it is.
It is.
Who are you? Someone who loves you?
Mm.
At last, Master Luke has come to rescue me.
Secret go.
Not you,
Yep.
C3PO.
I love this dialogue between Han and Luke. Together again. Wouldn't miss it. How are we doing? Same as always.
Always.
That
That
bad.
bad,
huh? Love that. I used to live here, you know. Well, you're going to die
Die
here. Convenient.
You should say
Boba Fett.
Han.
Boba Fett. Where?
Boba Fett.
Han,
Boba Fett.
Han in this movie is quotable in everything.
He was in Empire as well.
Yeah, sure.
Who wants to do Lando's scream?
I've already done. I can't reenact it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Han
By the
said-
way, that scream, Jack and Cooper wanted to replay it. I think
Twice.
I think we replayed that scream
That's
too.
hilarious.
It's
Two
great.
times.
It's a good screen.
Han says, "Thanks for coming back for me. Now I owe you one."
Yeah, now
Yep.
I owe you one.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda. Oh, you said I did
You
a good
loved it.
Yoda impression last time.
You love this
I
one.
did.
He's so scared. He's so scared to butcher it.
No, I'm not.
Come on,
No,
go on,
don't.
Yeah, which line is it?
Oh, here we go, Mark. Don't butcher it.
Strong. Wait, you wrote this down wrong, by the way.
Okay.
But not that strong.
Right.
Harry the
I think
smoker.
the start was good. Call out to an old Australian TV anchor.
Yeah.
What was it?
Right.
Strong.
No,
It's too late. It's too late. I'm losing my mind.
as soon as you begin down that path, it will dominate your destiny. Yoda.
You gotta sound. You
No,
gotta do an
no.
impression.
There
I guess
is
mine's just the best
another
then.
Skywalker. Yoda.
Yeah.
Obviously. So what I've told you is true from a certain point of view. Hate that.
Wait, wasn't that meant to be Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Why do you sound American?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Suppose what I told you was true.
Who says
From a certain point of view.
who says here we go again? Was it Han?
Here we go
Go
again.
again.
I think it was Han.
Here we go. I don't know.
Here we go again.
I will deal with them myself.
Mm.
I don't know who said this. Hey, point that thing someplace else.
Oh yeah, that was hard
That's
to the
hard.
Ewoks.
To the
okay.
Ewoks when they were
that's
sticking
right,
The
yeah.
spear.
You have that power too, Leia. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it.
Oh, what about Das? You have a twin sister.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Well, he
yeah,
says
but-
that.
Yeah, he says it's her sister. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Well, his fingers on it.
Could you tell Luke? Is that who you could tell?
Jealous.
That name no longer has any meaning for me.
Mm.
It is too late for me, son. Not bad for a little furball. That was Leia. Oh, Luke, powerful quote. Soon I'll be dead, and you with me.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Luke?
Luke says that.
To the Emperor.
Oh, I don't remember that.
He said
I'm gonna do my best to not butcher this
Oh,
Palpatine
God.
impression. I'm afraid the deflector shields will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
Yeah, he says it's so funny.
Yeah, he's like so sarcastic.
Mark, this is appropriate for you.
It's a trap.
Yeah, there we go. This is no time for heroics. I think Han says that to. No, C-3PO says it to R2.
Yeah.
I love you. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But reverse the roles. You are unwise. Oh, you are unwise to lower your defenses, says Vader. If you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps
She will.
I'll never turn to the dark side. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
That's a TikTok sound.
What is his reply? I suppose now you will die.
Jedi. No, he
No,
says
it's something
Jedi.
like that. He ends it with Jedi, yeah.
As
Like your father.
I
No.
really,
so be it, Jedi.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
yes, I mean, I really like this one. One of Vader's last lines. Sorry, Anakin's.
Hmm.
Just for once, let me look on you with my own eyes.
Yeah, then
That's nice.
Anakin.
That's a good
And then
line.
this one, oh god, here we go. Yeah,
Freeze my ears.
Watch out for the users. I should have gave an ear warning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Apologies to anyone wearing headphones.
Please
Anyway.
come back, please.
Don't worry, I heard our ears too.
I'm sorry.
You woke up the neighborhood with that one.
I don't care. It was worth it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's finish with some questions.
Ooh.
This a stumper because it's going to tear at your heart. What is the better trilogy ending? Revenge or Return? Not the better movie. What's the better ending?
Return.
Return? Okay.
But
No, there's a
obviously,
thing.
Obviously, the prequels have a fantastic one as well. Though.
There's a
But that's
difference,
more of
though.
a cliffhanger sort of
I was
thing.
going to say that is because it's leading into this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, but
So this one ends
This
the
one's
entire
more of a
1 to
conclusion.
6.
no.
Talking about 5.
No,
No, I'm talking about closing the trilogy. So it's closing the Clone Wars, the Republic.
Of course, this
So-
one because they initially only planned. Well, they were going to play for 1, but then 3. So I say 2.
What point? I mentioned this before. What point does Vader really turn back into?
Oh,
Anakin?
we had a debate about this earlier,
Yeah.
I'll be
So
honest.
I said it was when he started calling him son.
which
Luke-
is when Luke goes to him on Endor.
No,
No, it's a bit before that.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
it's in the ship when he's speaking
to the command ship on
yeah.
the command on Death Star.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Look, I'm gonna be
very
honest.
sensitive.
I'm gonna be one of those basic people and go. I think it was
When Luke gets
during the
electrocuted.
fight. No, not electrocuted, but
No.
during the fight. I reckon.
When he gets his hand chopped off.
Well, maybe a bit before that, when he was getting beaten by him in the battle.
Even when
I think maybe he was weak because he was. Or maybe even the sister bit when he said you had the sister. Maybe
yeah, I think maybe that
it was
would've been-
sinister the way he said it, but I think maybe in his head he goes, "I had another kid," kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, I think that. But I don't think it was that early. No.
I can go with that one, but I would also say in between your two, I could argue when Luke goes to meet him on Endor, not right at the beginning of that, but more to the end of that conversation, because he, as you said earlier, doesn't answer some questions. He has a lot of pauses, and I think that it might be that he's contemplating in his head.
And that's that like Kylo Ren is the pull from the lightning
Yeah.
bar. It's gonna be. I'm gonna give context after I ask the question. Was the Emperor stupid or smart? And I'll tell you why I've asked that.
Just confident.
Because
Coffee.
okay,
Just
because
confident.
he basically lures or draws all the rebellion forces to try and eliminate them, but in the off chance that they could destroy the Death Star. Like, I mean,
No,
why would you?
he
Why would
was-
you, as the
No,
Emperor?
he was confident in his
He thought the shield Jedi wouldn't get blown because he knew the
But
trap.
he leaked it. He leaked it to the rebellion.
he didn't
Exactly,
he
but
didn't
that's what
know that
made
the
it a trap.
Ewoks were going to help.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
and also, quick mention: does the Rebel fleet seem like it's way too small for what it should be?
But it always sometimes they look big, sometimes they look small. Sometimes there's a lot of them, and sometimes there's not a lot of them. I think
mean,
it varies in terms of
in
scene.
a
Because
New
didn't
Hope.
they send the entire fleet?
In A New Hope, it didn't really seem like there was that many.
No,
That's what I'm
Hope
saying.
felt-
They've had all
Hope
this
felt like a bit.
time to build it up and everything, and then at
This
this
was the-
big pinnacle fight.
seemed like it was anticlimactic in the space battle era. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This was probably the biggest we've seen the rebellion.
Yep.
All right. This might be an interesting question. What makes Jabba so threatening? Because he's not.
He's hold on people. He
His
has bargaining
reputation.
bargaining power. He's rich. He's got
He's rich
connections
and he's
to
got-
bounty hunters like Boba
He's
Fett.
basically
you know?
the mafia boss in the Star Wars
Like
universe.
you think about it, a lot of mafia bosses don't do much themselves.
Yeah, which he does.
They worked harder probably when they were younger, or you know what I
I
mean.
can just
into
imagine
the
a
film.
Jabba slugging around
Just-
slowly.
Or he smokes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think he's
Okay.
what's happened and
I
who he
hadn't really
knows.
thought about it. That's why I asked it.
Yeah, interesting.
Last question, and I feel like this is appropriate. What is the better Death Star destruction?
This one definitely.
Yeah.
This one felt more rejoiceful.
Which one's
did,
the more
because
satisfying
It
one?
This one
seems,
definitely.
yeah, because it seems like. Well, that's the thing, because episode 4 was meant to be its own film, and
So yeah, if
it
it was, it would have been.
seems like it should be the end of the Empire, which it seems more.
That's why I didn't
like in
really like
this
the
one,
addition of
and
having a Death Star in this one.
I
to
think
be
in
honest.
this one it seems more like that because of the celebration part.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's I think that's what makes it seem so triumphant.
Yeah.
Mm.
True. Yep. I'll agree with that. Yep.
Please don't be ads. Damn it. That's right. Well,
I feel like this is gonna extremely trigger Cooper.
Oh no.
jeez.
I feel like we've come to the end of a rewatch series.
Oh,
It feels like we're at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
did you not like The Force Awakens?
It was okay, but as a story, this really seems like the end.
It's just a New Hope.
I suppose so. How do we end with some nice festive music?
So on that note, guys.
What a cheerful way to end.
Yeah. I mean, look, this was a good movie.
Yeah.
There's not a lot really wrong with it. It's just slow. There's some
In
plot
their opinion.
Yeah.
inconveniences and it's pacing as
But
well.
then you have the end song like this.
Yeah,
this
this
makes up for everything.
I think this is what makes it seem like such a fitting end.
Hopefully we don't get copyrighted.
I don't even know if the microphone's going to hear it, to be honest.
Yeah, who knows? Well, if you can't hear it, it is the final song. What is it called?
The Ewok celebration.
The Ewok
That's the
celebration
end.
song.
Yeah, the end of the film.
So on that note,
Yeah.
we shall catch you.
John Williams did a fantastic job as always. In this
I know, we
film.
didn't really mention
No,
the music though.
We didn't
overall.
mention that much.
Yeah.
Overall, just same as always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of want to hold
anyway.
it close to see hands. I hope everyone can hear this. This is really good.
All right.
If not, yeah. Thanks
What
for
a,
joining.
I hope this beginning of our recording in the studio. Hopefully, it was
I hope you enjoy this format too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. All right.
So,
Thanks for
thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you.
Catch you
See you
later.
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 Bye.
Bye.